Imagine a future where your eyes deceive you, your ears betray you, and the truth itself becomes a casualty of code. Well, that future isn't decades away, it's already here. This afternoon, we dive into the rising tide of deepfake, disinformation, synthetic media generated by AI, capable of mimicking real people, real voices, and even real authority. Just this week, South Africans were confronted with a disturbing example. A video surfaced showing acclaimed epidemiologist Professor Salim Abdool Karim, now Director of CAPRISA and former chair of the Ministerial Advisory Committee during the pandemic, seemingly making dangerous claims about COVID-19 vaccines. It looked real, it sounded real, it even featured SAFM anchor Oliver Dickson in what appeared to be a serious interview. But here's the truth, that interview never happened. The clip was a deep fake, a digital lie dressed as fact. And so, as the video spread like wildfire, Oliver Dickson stepped forward responsibly to clear his name and set the record straight. Before we go any further then, we want you to listen to what Oliver had to say in the video that he posted on his Instagram page.
It has been brought to my attention that there's a video circulating purporting me interviewing renowned epidemiologist Dr. Abdool Karim, and in it there is a conversation supposedly around the COVID-19 vaccine causing great damage and harm to people, and some elaborate scam born out of it asking people to get something or do something. That video is fake, it's a deep fake, it's false, please don't believe it.
There it is, in his own words, the truth fighting to breathe in an age where lies move faster than facts. So now the real question, how do we protect truth when fiction can wear a human face and speak with a trusted voice? Joining us now we're joined by an AI strategist, Lavina Ramkissoon, who joins us to take the conversation forward. Lavina, good afternoon, and thank you for your time. So that incident involving Oliver Dickson, and I must say, I've seen videos of myself saying things that I know for a fact I've never said. How frequent do we see these examples of deep fakes and fabricated content that looks real and, to the not so discerning eye can be believable?
I think it's becoming more of a common trait these days, unfortunately so, and that's purely because the technology itself is getting a lot more mature, and we have allowed for a large training base for these models to get better and better over a period of time. So we've had loads of examples. I think this was probably about 2 years ago as well. There were some journalists, within the SABC that were privy and prone to some of the deep fakes. This is also equally true on an international scale as well.
What do these deep fakes play into in terms of the main narratives? What's your sense of the themes that they tend to tackle? Is it issues that change people's fortunes? Is it conspiracy theories, a mistrust of authority? What do they play into?
It's exactly all of them that you just described, unfortunately so. If we, delve a little bit deeper into it, I think it is really embedding into the erosion of trust. Because we've become so reliant and so synonymous with technology these days, we don't even question it, right? Whatever we see, we take for granted as being the truth, right? Or a version of it. Equally so, I think from a political perspective, there's a large play in terms of that. When we talk about violence and fraud, that in itself as well is becoming quite a large uptake as to why these things are actually happening. And I think that then leaves room for where we can actually, get better at it in terms of how we handle this going forward.
Yeah. In fact, let's bring in Professor Salim Abdool Karim to weigh in on this conversation. Prof, good afternoon. Just for the record, to the extent that someone saw this video, they don't know whether to make heads or tails of it. Did you or did you not have a conversation with Oliver Dickson along the lines that we've seen in the last few days that question the science and the authority around vaccines? All right, Prof, I think you are muted. It feels like we're back.
My dear, sorry.
We've got you now.
Say,
yes.
Absolutely not. I mean, what you have seen in that video is nothing less than somebody deliberately using my image and Oliver's image from an interview which we did have about something completely unrelated. And they've used it in a way that specifically targets individuals who believe in the conspiracy theories around anti-vaccination in order to sell them a heart medication. And it's even the medication itself, of course, is completely fake. So you're seeing the use of AI deliberately to spread information in order to make money from selling fake medicine.
Just sticking with you, Prof, when you looked at that video, what were the telltale signs for you that you could say, I mean, anyone who knows me knows that this can never be me?
Well, it started off in the first 5 seconds when I listened to when I first saw the video and somebody sent it to me. That's not Oliver's voice. Whoever that, I've spoken to Oliver, I've been interviewed by him on many occasions. And when you get to the part that deals with me, it's actually a loop. What they did was they took a segment and they used my image and they looped it over and over. So it's actually not changing. And the voice is certainly not mine, not even close. So there are so many telltale signs. But the problem is that most people just believe what they see because they think it's a genuine interview that was being done on television.
Yeah. Lavina, let me come back to you. I mean, when this happened in my case, I had to put out a long statement explaining that the studio from which I was supposedly broadcasting had long been demolished. It didn't exist anymore at the point at which this video came out. The words, the cadence was just not right. I was speaking much faster than I ordinarily would. And what Prof. Salim just pointed out now, the loop. So what does this tell us about some of the telltale signs that people should look out for in terms of the technology being able to accurately, it looks convincing, but we're not at a point where it can accurately be, an image that is completely believable if you know what you're looking for, right? All right, I think we've lost Lavina there, which is a great pity because I want us to get those insights. So just for the record then, Prof, in terms of where the science stands around vaccinations, and I know that I'm taking you back to a period when your voice was a constant feature on our screens, your face on our screens and your voice constantly talking to us about the importance of vaccination. We're at a point where there's vaccine skepticism, and we are seeing it in other contexts at the moment, such as measles. For the record, what is the science around vaccinations?
So it's very clear, and it's something that I have articulated on several occasions, that the COVID-19 vaccines, it doesn't matter which one you use, whether you use an mRNA or protein or DNA vaccine or any of the different kinds of vaccines, they all have been repeatedly shown to be safe. They don't cause the kinds of issues that were being mentioned in that fake video. So the vaccines are both safe and they are effective. I want to just add that, this is not the first deepfake video that this company has been using of me. They've now, over the last 2.5 years, they've made 3 videos and they've used several stills to promote their medication. It started off 2.5 years ago with them promoting something called Cardio Zoom. It's just brown colored water in a bottle that they were selling to people, and people were paying for it, buying it. And then they write to me and say, oh, I've taken your medicine, but it's not working, or it's causing me these additional harms. And I mean, what I've been seeing is actually these are harmful medicines that these people are promoting. They're not just being neutral. It's not just the disinformation. It's also a deliberate attempt to give people fake, harmful medicines to make money.
Lavina, let me give you the final word. What's your sense of recourse to all of this? Prof. Salim is talking about a company that has done it quite a number of times. In some instances, it's people being sold a dream of winning the lottery or some big bonanza or something like that, that is just not real. In terms of law enforcement and meting out consequences and recourse, how easy or how difficult is that?
I think there's a couple of layers that we need to unpack when we have to look at this, right? So, for example, when we talk about the technology itself, what exactly can we put in place to ensure that the technology and the applications of it is actually safe? So, for example, are we looking at things like watermarks? Are we looking at things like, detection tools that are becoming a lot more available? When we talk about policies, I have to really urge, us from a country perspective, do we have an effective enough AI policy strategy or even legislation in place, right? And if we do, what then does that look like? And how are we then protecting us as the end citizen or the end consumer through all of this? For example, we know of the EU AI Act, which actually does allow for banning of deepfakes as an example. I think the other layer that we need to start really looking at is the education or the literacy layer, right? When we have to talk about, tech getting wiser, what exactly are we doing from a perspective of citizens or youth in terms of educating them about these things, but also educating them in a way that allows for critical thinking to actually then happen and occur. In addition to that, I think the last bit is everyone is up, and is gearing for this AI arms race, right? So what guardrails can we actually put into place? What safety nets? And that becomes a larger conversation of a society or a humanitarian sort of initiative. At large.
All right, I've got to thank the both of you, Lavina Ramkisoon, AI expert, as well as Professor Salim Abdool Karim, who is director at CAPRISA. So there you have it. Don't be fooled, don't be misled by the deepfakes that are spreading out there.